Today we're discussing the idea of creating green screen videos, and I'm going to show you how you don't actually need to know that much about what's on the screen. And I'm seeing two very different things. I'm seeing people share just reposting an infograph from, I'll just use a bunch of them, NAR, CAR, Keeping Current Matters, um, um, Housing Wire, Redfin. They're following these social media accounts and they're seeing something valuable and they're turning around and just sharing it with on their page. Now, here's my question for you. If I see somebody that just shares an infograph, but they don't say anything else about it, is that building trust? Are they showing me that they understand real estate? I would say no. They're just being a puppet, right? They're just relaying information. And it doesn't take much to add your perspective on it. And I already know what some people are going to push back. They're going to say, well, Gabe, I'm not an economist. I've only been in real estate for a couple years. I can't actually give a lot of input. And I'm going to show you how AI is actually going to help with that. So the goal here is that we're going to kind of learn a framework, a model on how you can go from, oh, that's an interesting fact, to now I'm the authority figure in front of a screen for 60 seconds max talking about this information. Um, so why does this work? Now, it works because people are going to understand when it comes from you. If you throw at me inflation numbers, I'm going to just, I don't know what to do with that. But if Michelle gets on the camera and says, these are the inflation numbers, and this is why it matters to you, now you have my attention. And now I'm going to respect and trust Michelle that much more. So here's the 5-step workflow. It's not complicated, but I will be honest with you, the first couple of times it's going to be kind of wonky. You're not going to understand, you're going to kind of fumble over a few things. I can tell you now, I can do a green screen video in I would say at tops 15 to 20 minutes because I know exactly what steps I have to follow. So the first step is you have to find an infograph. Now, Michelle, are you on Instagram or Facebook?
Yeah, I have both.
Perfect. So, do you follow or do you see any real estate news from any source on there?
Yeah, for the Instagram, I saw our colleagues. They have some videos.
No, no, okay, okay. I'm talking about like news sources like
Oh,
CAR, NAR.
no, sorry. No.
Okay, okay, that's fine. So, one of the first things that you need to do is you need to start following those accounts so
Oh,
that it can be in front of you, so you can see that information.
like
Um,
what account?
CAR, NAR,
Okay.
NAR research,
Okay.
Keeping Current Matters, Housing Wire. Um, After that, you'll probably start to see recommended accounts. I would say follow at least 10 because you don't want a shortage of information.
Mm-hmm.
And also, you don't want your clients to see more news than you do about real estate.
That's right.
Okay. Um, Next, what you're going to do is you're just going to create a photo from it. So, you can take a screenshot of anything. And I think sometimes people kind of get lost in that, like, well, how can I make it a green screen? It's actually really easy. You're going to open up the account with the news and you're going to take a screenshot. There's your photo. It's really simple. And then, and there's literally countless apps that you can use. I use TikTok only for the green screen. I'm not a fan of TikTok. It's just too many distractions for me. But they have a great green screen. But Instagram has a green screen as well. So we're at the point now where you can find a green screen software literally for free anywhere. But you're just going to put it as your green screen. So you see my background right here. I have my photo of the giant buffalo. You see, I have my family photos right here. It's just going to be the photo behind me instead. That's all it is. Okay. But now here's the kicker. And this is where I think a lot of people start to get lost is, well, okay, Gabe, cool. So I'm going to have the appreciation projected appreciation for the next 5 years, I don't know what to say about that. I'm not a real estate economist. I don't understand. I don't know what I'm going to say. And we have a solution for you. What you're then going to do is you're going to take that infograph, and probably there's a description that they posted. You're going to take that and you're just going to upload it into ChatGPT. And you're going to say, hey, here's what I want you to do. I want you to give me a script to talk about this. And it's going to give you a script to talk about it. And then you're going to go back to your green screen and just go off of that script. Now, again, I'm going to show you how you can create a script that's really easy to follow, because I think what some people will do is they'll try to do word for word on the script, and that's a lot. I think that's too much. And then, of course, you're going to record the video. So let's get into finding the infographic first. So number one is, and these are just ideas, housing market stats. That's kind of the ones that we were talking about. But a lot of times those news sources will give you other things like home maintenance, the home buying process, mortgage trends. That's a really big one. Okay, I think another great example is Brian Buffini just spoke on a stage in front of all of us, and he put up a bunch of infographics right there. You can talk about any one of those. But the goal here is you're going to answer one clear question. For example, I just used an example of inflation. I said, how does inflation affect you? That's the one clear question that I'm going to be answering. Or there's now been a surge in sellers paying closing costs. What does that mean for you, the buyer? That's answering one clear question. Okay. Then you're going to let ChatGPT do the heavy lifting. You're going to upload the infograph. You're going to ask AI, explain this to me in simple language. Identify 3 to 4 biggest takeaways. Write a conversational 60-second script and add a hook and a call to action. Before you get overwhelmed with that, I have the actual prompt that you can be using. Okay. And this is literally, you can just copy and paste this. Analyze this infographic. Explain it in simple language for homeowners. Identify 3 to 4 important takeaways. So basically you're saying, hey, ChatGPT, I don't understand all this. So instead, give me the 3 highlights. Okay. Give me a strong hook, simple talking points, and a call to action. Explain what it means. And then it'll give you something. So let me see if I can show you. So I uploaded, this is what it gave me. Well, this is the description, but it kind of broke down for me how I can navigate the infographic. Remember, don't get overwhelmed. I always talk to people about this. AI is your assistant. So if there's any point where you're like, I don't know what this is about, ask AI to help explain it to you. Okay, or you say something like, I don't know how to explain that part. Like, how do I explain escrow? Ask ChatGPT to explain it to you in simple language. I like to think that the days of not understanding something are over, because now you have so many tools that can explain it to you. Okay. Then you're going to record the video. We already talked about this. You're going to put the green screen behind you. You don't need a tripod. You don't need fancy lights. You don't need a fancy microphone. I just did one, I think yesterday, on home appreciation for the next 5 years. I don't know if you guys saw it. It's on my Instagram. I just shot a video on it. I held the camera with my arm and I just talked. The budget was $0. It cost nothing. And it got about, I think last I checked, it got 500 plus views.
Wow, congratulations.
Well, thank you. I think it's relative. I don't know if that's even good, to be honest. But my point is that if I would have just shared that on my page, maybe it would have gotten a few likes, but I would have built zero credibility. But because I put it on my green screen and I talked about what it means to me and what it should mean to the consumer and why it's important, I got 500 plus people to view that and think, huh, Gabe might understand a few things about real estate. And then notice what ChatGPT is going to help you do. It's going to give you the hook. Now, the hook, by the way, do you guys understand what a hook is?
Like word,
Yes,
word
absolutely.
Say it again.
I was just saying yes.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, so I'll give you some examples. Don't make these three mistakes when investing. Here are the top two reasons why you should move to South Pasadena. Right? That's why my hook for my video was this is the true power of real estate appreciation. I think that's what it was. And then I'm going to talk about my 3 points. And I don't know if I had a call to action. I should have, but now I'd have to look back and see. Okay, here you go. So here's what it looks like. This is exactly what I did. It doesn't have a date. I'm pretty sure this was yesterday. Oh, it got 581 views as of, I think, this morning. But look, this was the article. It said it was by Keeping Current Matters. And it said home prices are forecast to rise for the next 5 years. And it shows the amount that it's going to be increasing. I don't know if that helps. It doesn't help. Oh, maybe that helps. Um, and it says here, so estimated home price performance from December to December as forecast in Q2. And you can see that in 2026, 1.7, 1.9, 2.7, 3.1, 3.3. Now, here's the thing, guys. You could get on camera and just explain what that means. That's totally fine. Now, I like to think, anyways, I have a little bit of a stronger perspective on real estate by now. So now what I was able to say is, hey, this is why I think this is still better than the stock market. And then this is just a screenshot of me talking in front of the green screen. And then this is what it looks like when I posted it on my feed. And I think, let's see what the hook is. Okay, it says here, the real power of real estate appreciation is more than you realize. Nah, I'm going to be honest, it's not a terrible hook. I don't know if I had a call to action though at the end of it. But what I did in my video is I compared what these kind of sad numbers 3.3, 3.1, 2.7, because what most people are going to see is they're going to say, well, what the heck, man? The S&P 500 gives a 7% return, 8% return. It might give a 9% return, right? Why would I do that? And in my video, I kind of talk a little bit about why I still think real estate is, in this exact example, was the better option. But this was it, guys. This was, and I want to say from start to finish, maybe it took 30 minutes. I had to decide on what article I was going to use, which, by the way, you guys see this little black bookmark here? What I always do when I'm on social media and I see something that I think I'm going to want to do a green screen on is I save it, I bookmark it, and I have like a whole folder on my Instagram that says green screen. So if I see an infographic that says, I don't know, Exodus of California, right? People are leaving the state of California, but I don't have time, or maybe I'm not interested in doing the green screen right now, but I know it will be a good green screen later. I'll bookmark it, and then I'll just remember, I'll just come back later to that. By the way, this is one of those. I think I bookmarked this about 2 months ago, 1 or 2 months ago, maybe. But check this out, guys. Look at the stats on this post. 2,380 people liked it. 33 people commented on it. It was reposted 409 times. And that's the exact stat that I was talking about. 409 real estate agents probably saw this and said, ooh, that's interesting. Repost. And they gave zero perspective on it, if I had to guess. Whereas I said, ooh, that's interesting. I'm going to shoot a green screen video. ChatGPT is going to help me come up with a script, why it's important. And then when I finish the video, I'm going to post it on my social media. I'm going to make it my own, basically. I'm going to steal it. Um, okay, so and here's kind of the order. The hook. Most owners completely misunderstand this chart, or you'll never guess what this would happen, or top 3 reasons of why you maybe don't want to own a pool, or it's like it's any number of those hooks, clickbait. And then you're going to have talking points, 3 to 4. And then the call to action is message me if you'd like the full report. Or in this case, it might be, maybe my call to action would have been DM me if you want me to give you your appreciation projections. Because in my example, I used an $800,000 home, but maybe somebody has a $950,000 home. Well, DM me and I'll run these numbers specifically for your house. Shoot, I probably should have done that if I'm being honest. Okay, so that's the call to action. And by the way, this is where without AI versus with AI, because I'll be honest with you, if we didn't have AI, I wouldn't expect anybody to do this. Because what you'd have to do is you'd have to look at the infograph, you'd have to research it, you'd have to decide what's important about it, you'd have to write a script. I mean, we're talking that could take hours. I'm not trying to be I'm not exaggerating. That could take hours. But now with AI, you just upload it, ask it some questions, give it your 3 big points, and run away. Run with it. Okay. Spend less time creating, more time publishing. Okay, so here is, I don't think there's any more slides. Yeah. Okay, so here's the challenge, guys. And look, I know sometimes I'm speaking to an empty space here. I would love for you guys to do one of these. And again, immediately you're probably thinking, I can't do that. I don't know what I'm talking about. Use AI. We just mentioned that part. Use AI. Hey, I don't understand why inflation is so vital or important or detrimental to people. Help me explain it to me in simple terms. Right? I think I used an example the other day of how absorption rates, AKA turnover, is important to the client, but most clients don't understand that. If I said to my mom, "Hey, mom, so the turnover in this neighborhood, its absorption rate's not great," she'll have no idea what I'm talking about. So now it's your job to ask ChatGPT, "Hey, I don't understand absorption rates. Can you help me understand it in simple terms?" And then if it still doesn't make sense, you know what? Actually, give me an analogy that I can understand. And it gives you an analogy and you think, man, it finally makes sense. Get on camera and explain it in your simple terms so that now you're educating your clients, you're educating the world. Know, like, and trust you. That's what people do business with. People that they know, people that they like, and people that they trust. I've always told you guys, when you're working with your sphere of influence, they already know you and they already like you. You got 2 of the 3 done. The last remaining number 3 is, do they trust you in real estate? The answer is probably not yet. Green screen videos solve that problem. Okay. So let's do a quick question because I know we're out of time. But what is a green screen video that we feel we might be able to do?
We as a group or us individually?
Individually.
I think even for me, I could say progression, right? That 5-year outlook. That's something that probably I could bring to the table.
Yeah. And by the way,
And
guys,
especially with the use of AI, like you said, like you gotta incorporate that. That just makes total sense.
yeah. Yeah. And look, I think someone like Mike, who has a background in the financial investing, man, how awesome would it be if Mike was like, guys, I just saw a video about how real estate is better in appreciation than the stock market. Here's why I don't agree. Boom. Right. And it's not like you're causing an uproar. It's just that I would click on that. I'm going to be honest. If somebody posted a video and said Airbnb is outperforming the S&P 500, I would click on that. I'd be like, how? I want to know how that's working, because Airbnb is struggling, right? So it needs to be enticing. And again, use AI. Hey AI, poke a hole in this argument. Help me understand where I could, argue this point. How about you, Michelle? She's still here.
I don't know yet.
Okay.
Like, yeah, I don't know yet.
If you were to have to do one tomorrow, what would
Mm-hmm.
it be on? What's something that you kind of are interested in?
Like for the past 12 months or the future 12 months about the housing trends in Arcadia City.
Okay. So what I'm hearing right there is you're hyper specific. I love that. 12 months, that's super relevant. So what I would do is I would go on Realtor Property Resource, right? That RPR app that we talked about in your association login. I would
Yeah.
look up the Arcadia stats and say,
Mm-hmm.
hey, look, this is what the last 12 months has been. This is what I think the next 12 months will be. And just say that in front of a green screen,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Philip, anything? Oh, user from MLS. Yeah, good. Yeah. Philip just said, I use RPR more than the MLS. Honestly, if you're aiming to be that economist of choice that understands the real estate market and the trends, and if you want to be the person that people look to for the consultant, like they really understand the market and where it's going, RPR is an amazing source for that. The MLS is, if I'm being honest, when I was working more and more with buyers, my clients would send me listings before I would, because they were on Zillow and Redfin refreshing their screen. And so the MLS is great, but everyone has access to that. Even if people say they don't. The Zillows and the Redfins pull from the MLS and they push out those emails faster than you can blink. So the MLS is cool, but it's not what it used to be. Now, understanding the market and explaining it is how you're going to kind of separate yourself. Okay, so that's my challenge for you guys. I know you guys have social media. I would love to see you do one green screen video, no matter how uncomfortable or bad you think it is. Even if it's something super basic, like okay, let's rewind 10 years and I'm brand new in real estate. If I would have done that green screen, it would have been really elementary, but still good. I would have put the green screen up behind me and I would have said, let me see where. I would have put the green screen up behind me and I would have said, here's what they think home appreciation is going to do over the next 5 years. Let me know your thoughts. That's all. I literally read the headline. I said, here's what economists think appreciation is going to do in the next 5 years. Let me know what you think. That's it. That would be my challenge, is get on screen, basically read the headline and ask people what they think and watch what happens. Okay.